Now let me take you to Madhya Pradesh. These are exclusive CCTV footage accessed by India Today. It shows you clearly the horror that unfolded on April 10th on the Ram Navami procession. What happened? Rioters brandished swords, pelted stones, not only from on the streets but also rooftops, vandalized vehicles. Here's a report that now shows these visuals that are hard to miss and will also put the whole timeline into perspective. Take a look.
Swords brandished, vehicles vandalized, arson. This was the scene on the streets of Ram Navami Day in Madhya Pradesh, Khargone. Damning footage of 3 CCTV cameras show the horror that unfolded on April 10th. From one angle, rioters, many with their faces covered, are seen running with swords, throwing stones at a crowd and damaging vehicles on their way. Another camera has recorded similar acts of lawlessness, mobs throwing stones big enough to kill people. A third video captures the complete chaos that prevailed as 2 groups of people clashed. People running for their lives as cops made feeble attempts to stop the violence. The rioters even tried to break into the homes of people to terrorize them.
हम तो उस टाइम किचन में चाय पी रहे थे और उधर से कुछ पत्थर आए और 1 घंटे तक पत्थरबाजी चला करी वो चला करी भी थोड़ी देर बाद फिर वो 300-400 जन इकट्ठे आ गए वो। अच्छा। और हमारे घर तक आ गए, सब उधर हमारी खिड़कियाँ वगैरह कांच वगैरह फोड़ दी है, गली में गाड़ी खड़ी थी एक की, वो गाड़ियाँ जला दी और उसके बाद हम दहशत में घर छोड़ के, घर खुला ही छोड़ के चले गए हम, मतलब हमारी जान बचा के निकले यहाँ से हम।
मैडम जब मैं 3 साल का था तब मैं अपनी जान बचा पाया, मेरे माता पिता ने मेरे मुंह दबाया था, आज मेरे बच्चे को मैंने मुंह दबाया कि हमारी जान बच जाए। ये कंडीशन थी मैडम, और दरवाजा अगर टूट जाता तो मैं नहीं बचता, मेरा परिवार खत्म हो जाता।
Fear reigns in Khargone days after the communal clashes. Many are selling their homes and leaving the town.
On 10th of April, it is this very place where the entire incident began in Khargone. It was 5 p.m. when the Ram Navami procession was crossing, and it's this very point where no one till now knows what exactly caused the spark that resulted in stone pelting, in scuffles, and later the entire Khargone was burning. You can see this is the masjid here at Talab Chowk, and there are claims and counterclaims that stones were pelted on the Ram Navami procession, because of which the scenario transpired. However, there's still no visual evidence to back that. This is the place on 10th of April at 5 p.m. which started that fire, which resulted in entire Khargone burning. With video journalist Ritesh, this is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.
My colleague Shreya Chatterjee is on the location in Khargone and she's now joining me live for an update. Very distressing to hear that father, Shreya, isn't it, who thought that the mob was going to kill him and his young child. We are also hearing of fear of an exodus of families leaving. They cannot believe this happened in this area. What is the current situation there in that area?
Well, Pooja, I'll just first give you a glimpse around. If I could ask my cameraman to just pan around. Curfew is still prevailing here in Khargone. You can see that from the police to the RAF, they are on the ground. Riot control vehicles are still on the ground. There was some relaxations that were given today for a brief window of 2 hours, respectively, in the morning and then in the afternoon. But people are really scared to get out of their houses. And this are across, in Khargone. It's in different pockets. We saw at some places people, they're scared to come back to their houses. There are people who are not sleeping in their houses. We spoke with family members who also want to leave their houses. So it's a very sad scenario. And, you see the visuals over here. That was also the aftermath of the incident. There were places that were demolished. This is that very place, that infamous Talab Chowki, from where that procession went violent because there is an allegation of stone pelting that was thrown on the procession. There's investigation that's still going into, and probably we will get a better picture later. But right now, the scenario in Khargone is not really good. It's still simmering, and definitely with the fact that the riot and the aftermath of the riot, it's still not removed. That's one of the job of the administration, to probably remove the remnants of the riot so that normalcy returns back. But that's not happened. So definitely people are also taking their time to come out of their fear psychosis.
Shreya, thank you so much for getting us that ground report. And behind you, what we see is perhaps giving us more clarity of what actually happened, the mob horror on that day. Shreya Chatterjee with all the latest from Khargone. Remember, it's not just about the visuals. There are people who have suffered serious injuries. India Today spoke to one of the relatives of Shivam. Shivam is a young man. He has been seriously injured, is on a ventilator right now from the violence that erupted on April 10. Take a look of what the family is saying and the visual on your screen of that young man.
को जाना था निसरपुर, पर बोले कि नहीं आज जुलूस देख के मैं कल सुबह जाऊंगा। बोले आज नहीं जाऊंगा निसरपुर, कल सुबह से जाऊंगा, जुलूस देख के ही जाऊंगा। और अचानक उसके साथ ये घटना हो गई।
तो आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं?
हम प्रार्थना कर रहे भगवान उसको बढ़िया कर दे, एकदम अच्छा करके ला दे घर पे।
जब हम लोग मंदिर से यहाँ आरती करके घर आए थे, तब मेरा बालक यहाँ पर मोटरसाइकिल अंदर कर रहा था, तो वहाँ से एकदम फ़ोन आया जहाँ ये वारदात हुई वहीं से कि भाई आपके बुआ के लड़के को इंजर्ड हो गया है और हम लोग हॉस्पिटल लेके जा रहे हैं। तो मेरा बड़ा बेटा नीलेश जोशी तथा छोटा बेटा मंथन जोशी दोनों लोग मोटरसाइकिल से सीधे हॉस्पिटल पहुँचे। वहाँ उसका इलाज वैसे ही जैसे पहुँचे वहाँ उसका इलाज के लिए चालू हो गए थे।
पेशेंट को लगभग 2 दिन हमें वेंटिलेटर पे रखना पड़ा। सभी दवाइयाँ जो भी ज़रूरी थी, संसाधन जो भी ज़रूरी थे, सब होने के कारण 2 दिन हमने व्यवस्थित उसका इलाज किया। तीसरे दिन से हमको उसकी स्थिति में थोड़ा पॉजिटिव सकारात्मक परिवर्तन दिखाई दिया। आज कहें तो उसकी स्थिति संतोषजनक है। जान का खतरा काफ़ी हद तक कम है।